Hello, parents and aspiring applicants. My name is Travis Whittick, founder of Academy Endeavors, and today we are going to answer a question we get a lot, especially this time of year, which is, hey, Travis, do you have any tips on how I can perform well at summer seminar? All right, so we're going to dive into those topics. And when I say summer seminar, I want to define what I'm referring to. I'm referring to an inclusive term that encompasses all 4 summer seminars at the Academy. So Merchant Marine Academy is the only academy that does not have a summer program for rising seniors, but West Point does. They call it SLE, or Summer Leadership Experience. Naval Academy does, and that's called NAS, or Naval Academy Summer Seminar. USAFA also calls their summer seminar Air Force Academy. And the Coast Guard Academy calls theirs AIM, A-I-M. Those are the 4 summer seminars. So when I say that, I'm using an inclusive term. Now, I want to back up and actually talk about any tips. When you ask for tips, I'm going to give you some context. Now, keep in mind, this is for rising seniors. This is a 1-week program over the summer for rising high school seniors only. Okay, so if you're listening to this and you're a freshman or sophomore, take notes because this will be in the future. If you've already applied, this does not apply to you. The Dean of Admissions at the Naval Academy, West Point, and Air Force Academy have all gone on record to say that attending a summer seminar does not score any points towards you actually getting into the academy. So do not attend summer seminar because you think it's going to score points for your resume, because it does not. There is no quantifiable advantage to going to summer seminar for those 3 academies. Okay, for Coast Guard Academy, we have not heard the Dean of Admissions say that. In fact, we've seen more that there is a stronger correlation between getting into AIM and attending AIM and actually getting into the Coast Guard Academy. And because they are a smaller academy, they can do things differently. And so if you do get into AIM and Coast Guard Academy is your number 1 choice, we highly suggest that you attend, because there could be an advantage in the admissions process for you. But that is only for the Coast Guard Academy. Now, going back to what I was saying earlier, there is no quantifiable advantage if you're going to one of the 3 big academy summer seminar. However, what we have learned over time is that there is an intangible benefit to going to summer seminar. When I say intangible, that means it's a soft benefit, but it is this. When you go for a week and you experience life as a cadet or midshipman on the yard at Naval Academy or at West Point or at Air Force Academy, you are going to come back from that experience more clear that this is what you want to do or not what you want to do. And that matters. The motivation to finish your application and stay motivated throughout the process matters, because this is the most lengthy application process in the country, and it's the most complex and the most complicated. It's basically like 10 applications into one. When you add up all the congressional nomination applications, plus DODMERB, plus the CFA, plus all this extra stuff you have to do, plus maybe ROTC as a backup, it's like 10 applications in one. So because of that, having that fire in your belly that you're going to finish and you're going to do well matters intangibly. The second, and this is a little bit more of a hard benefit, is that you're going to come back and have a little bit more details to write in your essays and your interview answers as to why you want to attend, because that's a common question, common essay question, and a common interview question. And you can come up with examples, and you can use some of those examples from summer seminar or from SLE as to why you want to, which then will make you appear more credible. Your enthusiasm is more based on credibility rather than on something you saw online or something you heard in a movie or a book or a documentary or something. So it's going to be more believable. And that does matter as well. Okay, so I want to give you a nuanced, balanced answer, because that's the truth. That's where the truth is that there's no quantifiable advantage to going to summer seminar. However, there is an intangible benefit to going. And this is what I tell parents. This is what I tell clients as well. I want to lay the landscape. And I want to compare this to something that does have a quantifiable benefit, which is boys or girls state. If you get into boys state or girls state, which is, we'll put in the link in the notes of this video, is run through the American Legion. It's also a 1-week program. It's also for rising seniors over the summer, but it does score more points for admissions. And I've heard the Dean of Admissions at West Point say, if you get into SLE and you get into boys state, which one should you go to? And he said boys state. And why is that? Because there's more points associated. Okay. It's going to make you look better. It's going to make you more of an attractive applicant if you go to Boise State rather than SLE. That being said, that should help you prioritize your summer because some of these things have a direct conflict and you can't be in two places at once. So getting back to the original question, how do I perform well at summer seminar? My first answer, what success looks like at summer seminar, is verifying that this is what you want to do. Have fun, experience it. Think of good questions to ask the upperclassmen. Of course, be professional and be passionate. Be on your best behavior. But upperclassmen aren't being told to write down notes and put it in your application for the admissions board. This is something for you to determine if you want to go there, because this is a very unique experience, the most unique college experience in the country, and it accompanies a 5-year service commitment at least. And if you're a pilot, it's going to be longer, right? Or if you go to medical school after the academy, it's going to be longer, right? So you're tacking on extra service commitment, at least 5 years. You're not going to be able to get out of the military until you're 27 years old. And when you're 17, locking up something for 9-10 years of your life is a significant commitment. So summer seminar first, I want you to enjoy it. I want you to have eyes wide open. I want you to ask questions. And I want you to take in the experience and live in the moment, because this is about your future. It's more than just how can I manipulate the situation so that I become more attractive so that I can get in. It's not just about that. The first priority is to verify this is what you want to do with your life. Now, second is what I'm about to tell you, and that is that, and I want to show a slide, okay, because there are potentially 2 factors that will help you get in, and you need to do well and you need to be prepared for these 2 things. Does my performance matter at summer seminar? And the answer is clearly, in one case, the CFA, your fitness test that you're going to take at summer seminar, does matter. This is why we made this table, is because Air Force Academy does not do the official CFA and have it count in your application. It's probably because of the elevation. You're going to go up to 7,000 feet. You're not acclimated. They don't want that to count against you. Okay. However, West Point and Naval Academy and Coast Guard Academy, which they don't call it CFA, they call it the PFE, that score will count and it will go in your application. The only academy that will allow you to scratch your score and they won't put it in your application is the Coast Guard Academy. And this is being recorded as of May 2025. So if they change that over time, then you need to know this. But based on previous summer seminars that we've learned from our clients, this is the truth. Go to summer seminar in early June and be ready to go fitness-wise, because this score will count in your application. Now, if you do poorly, even though SLE and NAS, they're going to record it and put it in your application, at the same time, you can go back home and take it again. And you can submit your score again up until January 31st, the deadline for West Point's official application and Naval Academy's application. And you can continue to record better and better scores. And we highly recommend that you do that. This is not a one-shot thing, just like the SAT. You don't just take the SAT once and then stop. Instead, you go to summer seminar. First, you should take a mock CFA. You should go to our website, download the mock CFA plan. You should go to YouTube, watch our mock CFA video, how to improve or max your CFA. It's the #1 on YouTube right now. And you should watch that, then do a mock CFA with a parent or sibling and find out where you're at and then train for it to get ready for the early June test if you're going to summer seminar. That's first, is do the mock. And second, train for it. And then third, perform well at the CFA. But all that said, the likelihood is, even if you do perform well, you're not going to perform as good as you could if you took it the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th official CFA. You're going to continue to improve, and you should be submitting those. You should be submitting more CFAs for West Point, Naval Academy, Coast Guard Academy, because they will accept additional CFAs. Now, very important to know this, USAFA does not do that, okay? USAFA accepts 1 score and then 1 retake, and you're done. And if you don't pass by that point, it's over. So for USAFA, you're not going to take the summer seminar, that is. But I'm talking about when you are done with summer seminar and you're coming back to take the official thing at home with an administrator at your school or an ALO or a commissioned officer or a PE teacher, and you're going to take the official CFA at home. You want to make sure that the one you submit is your best score. If not, reschedule with the administrator and do it again. But be careful the score you submit to USAFA, because they're only accepting 1. Now I'm done with the CFA and fitness prep. I think I've made it clear. You need to go to summer seminar and be at your best. Now I'm going to transition to the last column, which is if you're going to West Point, you will be interviewed, and that will be your admissions interview. That will count in place of your field force rep. And it will be an upperclassman at West Point who is your squad leader for the time that you're there. So you want to be at your best because as far as interviewing goes, but also you want to be at your best throughout the week if you're going to West Point, as far as your professionalism and your enthusiasm, because that interview, it's not just what happens during the 30-minute interview or the 45-minute interview or however long you get, 20 to 45 minutes, somewhere in there. But we got to win the interview before the interview with your performance throughout the week, because that squad leader is going to be writing a report on you. So yes, enjoy it. Yes, take it in. Yes, verify. But in West Point's case, they will be taking mental note. And during your interview, they're going to write an interview report and send it to admissions. And that is going to matter. In conclusion, fitness matters. And at West Point, the interview matters. Your performance throughout the week leading up to the interview matters, specifically for West Point. So keep this chart in mind as you go forth to your summer. If you have a conflict with summer seminar in Boise State, remember what we said about that earlier in the video. You can go back and watch that again. Good luck to you. This whole process is really ramping up now, and it's getting real. I know you got a lot going with AP exams, final exams, etc., but this is when great applicants are separating themselves from good applicants. And so be on your best and be focused and hyper vigilant as you go through the summer and into the fall. Good luck.